Hey grapplers, welcome back to the channel. So you're thinking about competing as an older grappler. Great idea. Everyone should at least compete once in their BJJ journey for the experience. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 important tips to maximize your experience and preparations. Stay until the end for the bonus tip that will actually surprise you and dramatically change your whole viewpoint on how to prepare for a tournament. So stay till the end. Enjoy the video. Pain is temporary, pride is forever. All right, let's get started. Tip number 5, pick a tournament ahead of time. You want to prepare for the tournament. You shouldn't just look for a tournament that's in a couple of weeks and decide, hey, I'm going to sign up to a tournament, I'm going to do a tournament. No, you have to prepare for your first, second, third tournament. Actually, you should prepare for all your tournaments. You can't go in there unprepared. Why? You need a bit of a camp. You need to prepare. You'll see with the other tips that you need to be ahead of time. You should be looking 3 to 6 months ahead in the schedule. And, you know, the schedules for different tournaments in your area are always posted regularly. This will also give you time to learn the rule set associated with the tournament that you're picking. Try to pick a tournament that's that has your age category. So if you're 40 years old and there isn't a master's division, you're probably going to be, it's probably not a good idea for your first or second tournament to be fighting 20-something-year-old guys. Ultimately, it's a large enough tournament that can get you as close as possible to your age category. I'm kind of lucky in my area. I'm 53 years old. We have a few tournaments, not all the tournaments, where there's 50 and over black belt category. So I can still compete and stay within my category. IBJJF is really good for stuff like that. Many of their tournaments go in either 5-year increments. Well, the major ones do, and sort of more of the local ones go in the 10-year increments. So if you're 50 and you're fighting from some 40-year-olds, yeah, give yourself a break. You know, you might be stuck with that for the most part. That seems to be the max for the tournaments. It is what it is. But if you can find a tournament that fits your age category perfectly, that's really important. The other thing is, you look at the rule set of the tournament, whether it's gi, no gi. You need to understand the rule set, and then you need to adjust your game accordingly. Okay, you have to think about that ahead of time. You can't just go in if you've never done a tournament and say, oh, I'm just going to do my regular rules. No, you're preparing for that specific tournament and that specific rule set. Okay, have a game plan. Number 4. I think this is a critical one. Kind of guys, they say, oh, I'm going to go in and I'm just, whatever happens, happens. That's the worst idea. That's, you know, yeah, you could flow. Yeah, but every high-level competitor, every amateur competitor should have a game plan. You need to know if you're going to go in the start of that match. At the very least, you need a concrete plan at the beginning there. At the beginning of the match, are you going to stand up or are you going to pull guard? If you're kind of, I go in with both. Okay, I like to have 1 or 2 moves that I'm going to try to do from a takedown perspective. But if I have to pull guard, and like I'm feeling like I'm not sure about this person that I'm rolling with or fighting with, and I want to pull guard, I feel like I have to pull guard. Well, I'm not just going to sit down. Right? I'm going to pull to my guard so I can instantly use the attacks that I've been drilling. And this is important for the rest of your game as well. So again, if you're really uncertain, if you're a white belt going in, if you're a blue belt, do something called a mind map. Okay? And that would basically, that kind of sequences all your moves together, and you realize, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do if the person is mounted me. Well, you got to work on that. You need a plan in a lot of the different positions. You need to self-evaluate what your weaknesses are. So look up mind map. I'll probably do a video in the future on how to do a proper mind map. Perhaps the most important tip from a game plan perspective is always try to push your opponent to where you're comfortable, the positions that you're comfortable with. So if you're in a spot that you're not sure, oh, I can pass here, but I don't drill it all the time. I'm not too sure. Well, move the position, move your opponent. Your goal should be moving your opponent to where you get to that comfort zone, where you know you can get to the pass that you've drilled over and over again. And the same goes if you're in a bad position. Okay, if you're losing and getting dominated, obviously you're going to work on your defenses. You're going to work on your defenses, and then you're going to counter. And then your goal is, after you protect yourself, is to counter and get to the positions that you're comfortable with. If you're on the bottom, your goal is to get to your favorite guard. Don't start, if you're not drilling De La Riva on a regular basis. Don't start going straight to De La Riva and trying to do De La Riva sweeps. No, bring the person down. If your half guard's your game, try to get to the half guard. So always try to push to the guards that you're comfortable with and the positions that you're comfortable with. Number 3, understand the divisions and weight class. I've already talked a bit about making sure that you have people around your age. Another thing you need to consider is weight class. Okay, so typically in most tournaments, and IBJJF being the major ones, for the gi, you usually weigh yourself with the gi on, and that's your total weight. Okay, that's what you're going to be fighting at. In no-gi, obviously you wear your no-gi stuff and you get on the scale. If you have knee pads, take off your knee pads, right? You put them on later. But be very smart about your weight. Now, oh, I don't want to cut weight. Oh, I don't, that's part of the game. So if you're on the lower end, like you haven't even started, you're picking a tournament, you're picking a weight class, and you weigh yourself, and you're on the lower end of the weight class, I highly recommend that you look into cutting weight. Okay, there's different ways that you can cut weight smartly. There's intermittent fasting. There's other diets. Sometimes it's just water weight. You just need to lose a bit of water weight. So think about that. I don't want you to go into your first, second, or third tournament on the lighter side, because remember, you're going to get the heavier guys cutting weight to your division, so you will be small. So it is better to cut a few pounds. I'm not telling you to cut 20 pounds and cut it, 2 divisions. That's ridiculous. As an older grappler, that's just not smart. But as an older grappler, we always have a little bit of chub, that we can always cut down a little bit. So it doesn't hurt to come up with a proper plan, diet a little bit, get to the weight class where you're at the top end. Number 2, supplement your regular BJJ training. Okay, what do I mean by that? You should be doing weights. We're preparing for a tournament, so take it serious. You're not doing a lot of tournaments, right? So if you're going to do a tournament, second or third, it doesn't matter. You're preparing. Do some weights. Okay, are you going for the maximum lifts? No, I don't. You're not going to exhaustion, but you need to strengthen up a little bit. One of the things I highly recommend for the training as you're leading up to even supplement the weight training is something called interval training. Okay, and that helps with your muscle endurance. And this is like a series of high heart rate exercises that you put together, and you kind of want to set it up based on the length of your matches. So for the most part, masters is 5 minutes. You need some sort of interval or circuit training exercises where 1 minute you go to the next station. Another minute, you go to the next station. Another minute, you go to the next station. You need a total of 5 exercises if you're going to be training for 5 minutes. Okay, so you could, it depends on what's available to you at the gym. You've got battle ropes. You got good old burpees. Burpees are exhausting. I like crunches with a medicine ball. I like throwing a medicine ball against the wall as hard as I can, against the ground. There's a whole bunch of videos that can help you with the circuit training and interval training. What I do recommend is you want to build up. You don't want to go for the first time trying circuit training. You're going to go, oh, I'm going to go 5 rounds of 5 minutes. You're going to kill yourself. You need to build up. So for week 1, you start with one round, so 5 minutes. Okay, adjust the exercises. You want to do this at least twice a week, minimum twice a week, maximum 3 times a week. You don't need to do more because you're doing a lot of jiu-jitsu and you're doing a little bit of weight training. But this is really as close as you can get to being in a match except for the hard rolls at the gym. And then you want to add another minute. Okay. And then you want to shorten the rest cycle. Okay. So when you first start out, okay, I'm in week 2, I'm going to do 2 rounds of 5 minutes. I'll give myself a solid minute break. Week 3, you could be going 1, 2, 3 rounds, but you're giving yourself a 30-second break. You have to listen to your body on this one. So everyone's going to be slightly different. Again, that's why I like a nice camp, because I guarantee you do this for 4-6 weeks. You're going to be a cardio monster in your matches. I absolutely guarantee it. And my number 1 tip for the older grappler signing up for your first, second, or third tournament, recovery. So you're working your body more than it's used to, but you're trying to push it to the maximum. You're trying to maximize your performance. Listen to your body. Sometimes you're going to take a day off. Sometimes you're going to need 2 days off. There's even points in time when if I'm in a 6-week camp and I'm killing it, but I have a particularly exhausting weekend, and those weekends where or rest period where I'm just exhausted and I need a break, and it usually happens right in the middle of camp, don't be afraid to take 3 days off. Okay? Fully heal, and then come back and start working hard again. Now, that doesn't mean work 2 days, take 3 days off, work 2 days, take another 3 days off. No. The 3-day break is really kind of those major checkpoints because you've been killing it over time and you can hardly move. Okay, that's reality of preparing for a tournament. All right? And finally, the bonus, what you've been waiting for. This is actually a bit of a pet peeve of mine, and it's something I highly promote with anyone interested in signing up for tournaments. You need a winning mental approach. What bothers me is when guys say, oh, I'm going to sign up to the tournament. If I lose, I learn. If I lose, I learn. Just going for the experience, not really taking it seriously. I don't care what happens. I'm just going to have some fun. That's not a winning attitude. That is not how you're going to maximize your gains and your experience. The reason why you're doing a tournament in jiu-jitsu is to improve your game. I'm telling you, improve your game. Like, it's the best way to improve your game. It is absolutely the best way. It's the fastest way to go screaming up the ranks. I guarantee you, if you follow these tips that I've given you, and you do all the preparation, you go to the extra classes, you hone in on your game. It's that 6, 7, 8 week focused period where you're like, I'm going to win. I'm going to work harder than everybody else. And I'm going to try my best and I'm going to win. You're going in to win. I guarantee you that extra little push that you put into your exercises, your training, the sparring rounds, it's going to make a huge difference. Now, here's the reality. That doesn't mean you're going to win. Okay? But because you've had that mental positive attitude and putting in that extra effort, no matter what happens at the tournament, you're guaranteed to improve. So we're on the level here, and we kind of have these micro improvements, and they go like that. I guarantee, straight up. Okay, you will. I like to say this to the kids, and I like to say this to the adults and the old guys and girls that compete. You will be a different human when you come back from the tournament. The winning attitude that I have, that comes about because I grew up as a wrestler, and we did tournaments once a week. We had meets. So sometimes we were competing twice a week. In my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu journey, up until COVID, I was competing in as many tournaments as I possibly could. Still competed after COVID, but it kind of slowed down. But I've competed at black belt and had a lot of fun. I'm not going to quit. I'm 53 years old. I'm going to compete till I can't walk anymore. Okay, there's still a bunch of tournaments for us. So here's the benefits. You will maximize your BJJ gains. All right, you're training super hard. You will be in amazing shape. Whether you ever do another tournament again, it's only positive. All right, so really understand that competing is important. My belief is you shouldn't get a black belt until you've competed. You need to feel that next level aggression level. You need to understand if your jiu-jitsu works. You need to know if your stand-up works. You need to know if your takedowns, your guards work, okay, in real time against a real opponent. But again, even if you lose, you've maximized your training, and you will only benefit after this whole experience. So I hope this video helped. And if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comments. I'd love to respond. If I've missed something, I'm happy to make a follow-up video on further preparations or more details about how to prepare for certain situations, certain style of opponents. But it's only positive. So whether you're thinking of a tournament or not, you must compete at least once or twice in your BJJ journey. Good luck out there, gang. Enjoy. Hope you enjoyed this video. Visit the channel and look at some other videos as well. There's some really solid content. Have a great day.